Dunedin Mayor Dave Cull is calling for more visitor accommodation to be established in the city. He's just been involved in two large tourism conferences held locally, and his comments have attracted both criticism and support. So he joins us now to discuss the issue. Good evening.
Good evening.
So firstly, what is Dunedin's visitor accommodation sector currently lacking in your opinion?
It lacks both quantity and quality. It lacks enough bedrooms, hotel bedrooms, to meet the latent demand that we know is there, and it lacks quality. It lacks, say, five-star accommodation at the top end that we know that an increasing number of both visitors and conference delegates demand.
And will new accommodation force existing businesses out of the market?
No, it actually will help them. This is not about new competitors coming in and sucking up some of the existing market. It's about expanding the market, it's expanding the demand. We know at the moment we're not getting a lot of conferences, that we're not getting some large events at the stadium specifically because we don't have the accommodation. So if we had the accommodation and they came in, there's actually more visitors come in and everyone benefits.
And you've just touched on this, but are there any other ways that more visitor accommodation would benefit the city?
Well, largely by bringing in the big top-end conferences, bigger events, better events, and the visitors that go with them.
And what sort of challenges are developers facing?
Finding the right sites or buildings and getting a grip on the mix of demand that they need. Just because we need more top-end accommodation and more accommodation in general doesn't mean it's easy. So developers and operators need to get a handle on where the parameters of the site and the kind of mix of demand that they'll be serving.
And tell us, why have previous hotel plans failed?
Well, the one that always comes to mind is the 28-storey proposal. It failed because it simply could not be made to work on that site, and it wasn't just the height. We put a tremendous amount of effort in from council and personally into trying to rescue that project, and it could not be made to work on that site. Transportation issues were as much as anything. The other reason was that the developers simply refused to adapt their design or concept to the realities of the city or consider another site, and fell over.
And in general, is the council making it easy enough for developers to produce this accommodation? Yeah,
we're developing a proactive approach where we hold hands with a developer or operator who's interested and take them through the processes. You know, any development anywhere, it doesn't matter what it is, anywhere in the country has to go through the resource management process, and it can get quite complex depending on the zoning or whatever. So we want to have a one-stop shop, one point of contact in council to help developers through that.
And finally, is the council currently involved in plans for new accommodation? If so, what can you tell us about that?
I don't think there's anything I can tell you specifically. If there are conversations going on, they'll naturally be commercially sensitive. But what we are doing is we're talking to operators and developers all the time about possibilities. We're talking to investors. We're talking about sites. We're talking about demand. So yeah, there's discussions going on, and I want to ramp that up, because I think we're in desperate need. There's almost a tsunami, we're told, of demand coming towards us. We need to be ready to take the opportunity.
Mayor Dave Cull, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.